Pokemon are deadly, but which ones are the most dangerous? For this video, I will be addressing Generation 1 only, but don't worry, I will get to all the generations as well. Our choices are based on personal preference, Pokedex entries, and anime-based damage. Also, please rule out some of the more ridiculous Pokemon like the Giant Dragonite and Tentacruel. Big shout out and thanks to K-Mac Time for helping out with this list. Before we start this list, I'd like to do some honorable mentions. First, Ditto. Thankfully, Ditto is a fairly docile Pokemon. Considering Ditto can transform into any Pokemon, if it had a worse temperament, perhaps the world would have been destroyed years ago. Dugtrio is another good one. Dugtrio digging about causes earthquakes. Raichu is another good contender. If disturbed accidentally, it will discharge 100,000 volts. Persian, surprisingly enough, is a very vicious Pokemon, and it lashes out with the slightest whim. Voltorb and Electrode also, due to their explosive personalities. Same with Coughing. Adding to that, it's also poisonous. Magneton makes the list too, thanks to its magnetism, which destroys multiple electronics. Don't let this Pokemon near a hospital. And finally, Hypno. Among Hypno's disturbing entries, apparently, when hungry, Hypno will hypnotize humans and eat their dreams. So, there's that. Without further delay, let's begin. At number 10, we have Charizard. It spits fire that is hot enough to melt boulders, known to cause forest fires unintentionally. Thanks to Charizard, no tree is safe around it. If that isn't enough, it can melt boulders with its fire. The reason it makes number 10 is because it's unintentional though.
Number 9 on our most deadly Pokemon countdown is Muck, the sludge Pokemon. Now, Muck is one of those Pokemon that I personally have never really been that into. It always just looks like a giant puddle of muck spelled backwards, I guess you could say. But that's just a really creepy thing. Another creepy thing about it is its red and blue Pokemon entry reads as follows. Thickly covered with the filthy, vile sludge, it is so toxic, even its footprints contain poison. And then coming from its silver entry in the Pokedex, quote, its body is made of a powerful poison. Touching it accidentally will cause fever that requires many days of bed rest. Now that is a really messed up thing. To even touch it can get you sick and almost dying. That's a very deadly Pokemon.
Pidgeot. Normally a docile Pokemon, Pidgeot makes this list because it can fly at speeds of up to Mach 2. Doing so means it can create a sonic boom. Thanks to one pass by Pidgeot, the entire city may need to replace the glass.
7 on our most deadly Pokemon list is Magmar. Now, Magmar is one of the coolest Pokemon in Generation 1 in my opinion, and it's one of those generally just badass fire types that I really love. But his big thing is how hot he is. Now, his yellow entry in the Pokedex is born in an active volcano, its body is cloaked in flames, so it looks like it's one big ball of fire. That's pretty bad entry, but this one, the Pokemon Stadium entry from the original N64 entry, is even worse. Quote, with a body temperature close to 2200 degrees Celsius, its body is always burning with orange flames, lives near volcanoes. Now something that hot is almost as hot as the sun, and that is so crazy. You could not even get near this Pokemon without it. If it wanted to, it would just incinerate you. As you see right there, it jumped into a volcano. That is crazy.
Number 6 is Nidoking. For a Pokemon that stands 4 foot tall, you'd think it couldn't be that deadly. But if it begins to rampage, much like Primeape, honorable mention, it can't be stopped. Adding to its extremely poisonous nature, it's covered with spikes. If you piss off one of these Pokemon, you not only run the risk of being crushed by its tail, which it can snap a telephone pole in half, but you also might be skewered, drilled, or poisoned to death on top of the
Next up, coming in at number 5 on our list is Kabutops. This Pokemon is also one of my all-time favorite Gen 1 Pokemon. It looks really cool. My favorite fossil Pokemon of all time, I might point out. And this one is ultra deadly. As you can tell, it is super fast, super sleek, and its Pokemon entry in red and blue reads as follows. Quote, its sleek shape is perfect for swimming. It slashes its prey with its claw and drains the body fluids. And if you think that's bad, listen to the entry from Pokemon Silver. Quote, with sharp claws, this ferocious ancient Pokemon rips apart prey and sucks their body fluids. That is crazy scary and crazy crazy how easily this thing could tear a person apart and drink out its bodily fluids. That is crazy and super dangerous, super deadly Pokemon from Generation 1 for sure.
Number 4, Gloom and Vileplume. Both of these Pokemon make this spot for separate but compelling reasons. Gloom's stench is so terrible, it can be smelled from a mile away and can cause fainting. So one Gloom in the vicinity of your town means everyone's gonna be knocked out. Vileplume's flower petals expel poison as it walks. Every step this Pokemon takes means it's showering the ground with poison.
Coming in at number 3 on our list is Victreebel. Now, Victreebel is one of the coolest Pokemon as well. I love this Pokemon. It's very useful. I actually like this Pokemon and use them in my Nuzlocke runs if you guys have ever seen any of those videos. But it's actually based off of an actual real-life flower, the tropical pitcher flower, and it's actually very similar to how it works in real life. It's a carnivorous plant, as you can see. It actually eats bugs, lizards, and it's even seen to eat things all the way up to birds. And this Pokemon has some really cool entries as well. The Pokemon Crystal entry reads as follows. Once ingested into this Pokemon's body, even the hardest object will melt to nothing. Now that is pretty bad, but the Pokemon Yellow entry is the creepiest thing ever. Quote, lures prey with the sweet aroma of honey. Swallowed whole, the prey is melted in a day, bones and all. That is pretty frickin' scary.
Number 2, Gyarados.
Gyarados. This Pokemon has a vicious temperament, so use extreme caution. Its fangs can crush stones, and its scales are harder than steel.
Rarely seen in the wild, huge and vicious, it is capable of destroying entire cities in a rage. So yeah, Gyarados takes the cake for me. Just one can destroy an entire city by itself. Imagine if you got a group together. Oh, and it can also fire a Hyper Beam from its mouth, adding to its destructive power.
Coming in at number 1 on our most deadly Pokemon list is Blastoise. Now, Blastoise is awesome Pokemon, one of my all-time favorites of any generation. And you guys already know it has 2 water cannons on its back. These cannons are capable of producing a 5-inch stream at over 90,000 PSI. And I'll give you an insight of how much that actually is. The world's strongest water jets that punch or cut things out of steel and all those aluminum and all those alloys only have a PSI of around 40,000. So that is almost actually over double that, and that is absolutely crazy. Now, the Pokemon entry that reads the creepiest is the one from Pokemon Silver. It says, quote, the rocket cannons on its shell fire jets of water capable of punching holes through very thick steel. And like I said, that is very crazy, but that's all the time we have for this, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys could go ahead and leave a like, it'd be very much appreciated. And you guys could also go check out ProtoMario's channel. If you guys are watching this on my channel instead of his, you guys can come check out his channel. Or you guys are watching us on his channel, you guys can come check out my channel. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I really do appreciate when you guys hit that like button. You guys can come over to my channel and check out some Titanfall gameplay along with my Nuzlocke run and other kinds of fun stuff going on. Make sure you guys check out ProtoMario's channel. Really cool guy. Check him out. And as always, guys, have a good day and game the fuck on. Until next time, peace out.
Last added bonus, the most dangerous legendary Pokemon is Mewtwo. The most combat hardened Pokemon is said to have the most savage of hearts. Some might contest that Mewtwo is the most dangerous Pokemon, considering he was going to enslave all humans at one point in time.